Hey there, it seemed like some people were struggling with this section, so I decided to make a video. Seems like there's about 4 main types of questions that were being asked. One of them being, find the y-intercept of the parabola. This is definitely a pretty easy one. What we know about all y-intercepts is that x is always 0. And so that's what we do. We just make x 0 here. So y equals 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 6. And of course, that's just 0 minus 0 plus 6, which is just 6. So what you would type into here would either be 0, 6, or just 6. I noticed that it seemed to accept both of those just fine. So ask for y-intercept, plug 0 for x, and find y. Easy peasy. Next one was finding the axis of symmetry, and all of these equations that are giving you are always in general or standard form. So we have our formula for finding the axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a. And so we're just going to use that. Remember that the a value is the number in front of x squared, so a is 1, and here b is 5. And then this last number is c, which we don't really need right here, but there it is. So if I want to figure out what x is equal to, I would say x equals, so negative, and then b is 5 over 2 times a, which is 1. The most frustrating thing here for me was that it wants everything in proper fractions or improper fractions or integers, so we can't use decimals here. So I would do this, we get negative 5 over 2. And so you do need to make sure you write that as an equation when you go into here. So x equals negative 5 over 2. And you should be all good there. Look at the next one. A value is 5. B value is 10. Again, don't need C, but there it is, 3. So x equals negative b, which is 10, over 2 times a, which is 5. So we have negative 10 over 10, which of course is negative 1. So over here, I just type in x equals negative 1. Boom, all done. And last one, let's see, got a value of 1. Now, b is always in front of the x. There is no x term, so that means that our b value is 0. It actually makes things easier. And again, c is this nasty fraction here, but x equals negative b over 2a, so negative 0 divided by 2 times 1. So 0 divided by 2, which is 0. So just don't get tripped up by the fact that there's no b term. It actually makes everything easier, because 0 divided by anything is going to be 0. So there always has to be an a term, because if there wasn't an a term, an x squared term, then it wouldn't be a quadratic, and then it wouldn't be a parabola. So that's never a problem. But there can be no b term. There could also be no c term. That's fine for a quadratic, but it has to have an a term. So that's how you find the axis of symmetry. And then we move to finding the vertex, which is very much like finding the axis of symmetry, because we need to find the axis of symmetry and then plug it in, right? We find x, then plug it in to find y. We've talked about that. So I'm going to start off by saying what's a, what's b. And again, there's c, but I don't need it right now. So x equals negative b over 2 times a, which is 1. So negative 7 over 2. So again, the frustrating thing here is I have to type that in as a fraction. So I got negative 7 over 2 over here, and my x value. And so then we plug that value into the problem, and we have to figure out what that's equal to. So I went ahead and used a calculator to do this, but so what I'm typing in is negative 7 over 2 squared plus 7 times negative 7 divided by 2. So I'm just using division, so I'm not doing a fraction or anything like that. So I guess more realistically what I'm typing into the calculator is this. Negative 7 divided by 2. So I have to put in the parentheses and then the caret button, or you might have a square button in your calculator. I hope they're not using the crappy calculator on your phone. I've warned you guys about that so many times. Then negative 7 divided by 2, and then plus 10. So when you do that, let's see what you get. I get negative 2.25. So that's 2 1/4. So remember how to turn that into an improper fraction. 2 times 4 is 8, and then 8 plus 1 is 9, so that'd be 9/4. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9, so that's 9/4, so it's negative 9/4. That's over there. Okay. So yeah, the most frustrating part is having to write everything in fractions. Next one here. This one's a little nasty because of that fraction there at the end when we do the finding y part, but a is 1 and b is 1, so it makes finding x easy. So negative b, which is 1, divided by 2 times a, which is 1, so negative 1/2. So there's x, negative 1/2. So I go to find y, plugging that in, I get negative 1 divided by 2 squared plus negative 1 divided by 2 plus, I'm going to go ahead and put this in parentheses too since it is a fraction, so it's a good idea, 19 divided by 2. And that gave me 9.25, which is 9 1/4. So 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 1 is 37. That's 37/4. It's positive. 37/4. Here. So that's finding the vertex. Sorry about the fraction stuff. What can you do? And last thing, finding the minimum value of the vertex is actually the same thing as finding the minimum value of the parabola. The same thing is finding the vertex. Remember, the vertex is the minimum value or the maximum value on the graph. In this case, they just saw the minimum. So, but more specifically, the minimum value is just the y value of the vertex. So, just think about that when you're putting that in. So they want you to find the vertex, but just the y coordinate. So still have to go through the whole process. What's a, what's b, and then plug it in. Here, a is 1, and then there is no b term again, so b is 0. So just like before, we get negative 0 divided by 2 times 1, which of course is 0. Then we go and plug 0 back in. Of course, we get 0 back out. So the vertex is at 0, 0. So I would just type in 0 here for my minimum value. Similar deal on this next one. A is 1, b is negative 6, so x equals negative 6, watch that sign, over 2 times 1, which is positive 6/2, which is 3. Plug that back in, y equals 3 squared minus 6 times 3, which is 9, minus 18, which is negative 9. So the vertex is at 3, negative 9. So I would just type in negative 9 over here and get the answer. That is it. All right, hope you guys all doing well, staying healthy, and have a good weekend and whatnot. If you're on the dance, have fun. Bye.